Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So today's video, we've got the Shure PGA48 vocal microphone. Now, I thought I had this on my channel at one point, but apparently not. I do have the SM58, but not this one. Quite surprising because I've had a couple of these in the past for a long time. So I thought I did even reviews on them. Apparently not. So that will be coming. Anyways, today is going to be an unboxing, set it up, and let's test it out and see what it's like. We're going to plug this thing into my Yamaha DGX 670, the new keyboard I just got, because it does have a microphone input. And I didn't want to buy an expensive mic because there's really no point to it. And the SM58, of course, though it can be plugged in, won't give you hardly any gain at all. Where this one will give you that extra gain that you need in order for it to work properly. But there's something about the innards or something of the SM58 that it doesn't like to go direct into keyboards unless it has some sort of like a little transformer box or a unit built into the cable, into the XLR. It doesn't do well with XLR to 1/4 inch cables apparently. Some other jazz about it. Anyways, I was talking to the guys at Long McQuaid about it yesterday because I had thought about buying another SM58 because I do have one set up in my studio, but yeah, apparently it's not going to work out right, but this one will. But we'll talk more about that. Let's get this thing out of the box and see what's inside. Alright guys, so we've got a little tie strap Velcro jobby to reconnect the cable together once we recoil it for storage purpose. We have the mic, of course, mic clip, a Shure sticker. Handy. I needed a new one because my last one died. Anyways, limited warranty info before using this product, little card, and of course the user guide, basic stuff. Wait a minute, you actually need a multi-page user guide for a microphone? Well, I guess so. And of course we do have a carry case. So if we're going portable with this, then we can have a safe place to put the microphone. So, you know what? I think we need to get this thing all hooked up and rocking and see what happens next. Okay guys, we've got it all set up now. Pretty simple. I will do a tutorial with the keyboard on one of the tutorials on how to actually set the mic up and adjust settings. That's not for today. But this is a cordioid or dynamic microphone. Okay, so it doesn't require phantom power of any kind. Now, there's two versions of this same mic. There's one that comes just with the microphone, or you can get this one that comes with the XLR to 1/4 inch cable. Now, if you get the one that comes without the cable, you might save a couple of bucks, but then you're going to need a cable, right? So if you do need XLR to 1/4 inch, well, then you might as well just buy the kit, and it actually saves you a couple bucks. Because buying cables as an extra can be actually a little bit more costly sometimes, but it kind of depends upon what you're getting for a microphone, whether or not you go for a kit style thing or not. Now, if you're looking for a professional vocal quality mic, something like the SM58, they don't generally come with cables, right? They may have a version that does, but either way, you're talking a little over twice the amount of money. This was on sale for $50 at Long McQuaid, normally $60. Now, this is Canadian prices, obviously. You can buy these things probably on Amazon too, and other music stores and so on, right? But you can get it two ways, with or without cables. So if you don't need a cable, great, buy the one without and save a few bucks. But either way, you're still going to need a mic stand. So, you know, and depending on the quality grade of mic stand you pick, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. So anyways, as far as the mic in itself goes, the PGA48 microphones are actually designed for professional quality spoken word and karaoke performance, right? Well, when you think about it, when you're plugging a microphone into a keyboard like this, it's kind of like a karaoke kind of setup in a sort of sense, except you're the one playing the tunes, right? Anyway, they are really good vocal mics, and I started buying these things a few years back, and I had a couple of them because I needed them, even though it's just me in the studio. But I did need more than one at the time. But I did get rid of them eventually, and I ended up going to a more professional studio grade quality mic, or better vocal mic, like the SM58. Because like its SM57, the 58 is virtually identical, except of course it looks like this sort of a style, but with no on and off switch, obviously. Having the same internals as the SM57, a little bit different hood piece on it, that sort of thing, right? This one has an on and off switch, which is very handy, especially for karaoke performance. You can turn it on or off. And it also saves you plugging in the keyboard. In this case, you can turn it off if you don't need it, so you don't have to mess around with the settings menu and manually turn off a microphone, right? That doesn't have a switch of its own. But they are very good quality. They do work really well. I have used them to do professional recording with, and they work really well. But when I switched over to the SM58 series, oh, what a huge difference, especially in EQing. So there is something to be said about, you know, a $50 mic designed for spoken word and karaoke versus something for professional vocals, right? You're going to definitely get a lot more for your money. But if we don't need that, then we don't worry about it. In this case, with the keyboard, I don't need an SM58. And like I said at the beginning, you can't really use one because they use a lot more gain. So they're more suitable for going into a PA mixer, right? Into a mixing desk. Or something that can also preamp them a little bit more. Whereas this one here, it doesn't quite require the same amount of gain, but it still requires actually quite a bit. And I've got the gain on this one set, just to let you know what I've got going on here. The gain is at 85, so that's a little past around 330, we'll say, or around 330 on the dial. And it seems to be doing pretty good as far as that goes. So let me just turn the mic on here. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do have some effects like reverb and whatnot. And we can also add chorus if we want to. We can pan left or right. There's quite a bit of features on this. The main volume output, of course, is set to 100%. So this way I can actually sit here and play and sing at the same time, because your vocals have to be over top of your instrument, right? That's kind of a given, just not over blaring where you drown out your instrument. Anyhow, so we'll just get out of this area for a second. But with these kind of microphones too, when you're using corduroy or dynamic mics, you do have to be a lot closer to the microphone in order to be picked up properly. And if you keep going in and out, well, that can mess up your recording, it can mess up your live performance. So you got to kind of set your gain too with something like this according to how far you're going to be away from it, but you don't want to be too far away from it, because then you can get feedback issues, because then you got too much coming out, and you know, and there's a lot of other things that cause feedback too. Improper EQing is a huge thing, right? So, but for me, with having my cast still on my arm, I can't really do a whole lot, but we'll give it a little bit of a crack here and see what we can come up with. I do have to move my mic stand though, so I can get a little more adjustability here, but let me see what I can actually do for you guys. And it'll be one of my songs as usual. Okay, yeah, we need to actually turn this on. Okay, this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to change that down maybe. Hard time playing that. It's a little hard, so it also throws my voice off when I stretch my hand out of it. We'll have to come back to that in a much more better video, but as we can hear, we do have lots of output here. Now, if you find that even at 85 gain, even though you're close up, which is something I'm kind of hearing a little bit, I do need a little bit more of gain. So I can go back in to my mic setting, or depending on what you're plugging into, add a little bit more gain to this thing. So we're just going to go 88. You don't want to push the gain too high. At the same time, you got to test at the distance you are. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Whoa, that's 100%. 1, 2, 1, 2, and you can hear that feedback. That's too much, too much. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think about 87 should be good. Okay, so now we've got that. Setting, save, and save, and okay. Yes, overwrite. And escape out of here. And escape. Alright, let's see when we try this again. Wonder if I can, yeah, maybe. Serve you, Lord, for the rest of my days. I want to be like Jesus. I want to make the lame to walk. Whoops, I messed up. But anyways, you get the idea. It works much better. So a couple little extra markers up. Perfect. But when you plug into a mixing board, you're going to have to figure out your gain by using your mixer. As far as, you know, the levels, you want to keep them always in the green, never in the red. Anytime you peak, and we'll go through about how to set up a mic on a mixer properly too, because I have some mixer videos planned for you guys, because I know there's still a lot of questions out there, and I've learned a lot over the years. So away you go. Now, as far as, you know, I mean, it's 50 bucks, right, Canadian. You got the 15-foot XLR to 1/4-inch cable, so perfect for anything you're going to plug into 1/4-inch for your vocals. Now, you do have to have an amplifier proper for this, obviously, for plugging a mic into, or in this case, maybe a mixing board you want to do, right? Type of thing. But with a keyboard, it's set up to go for the mic, so just plug it in and voila. And a lot of keyboards out there do have microphone input, so you can sing and play through at the same time, hear yourself, people can hear you. It's great, right? But as far as the quality build goes, Shure microphones, I mean, legendary performance on the box, yes, I have to agree. You know, Shure being a fantastic product, yes. Is there stuff better than Shure? Oh, of course there more than likely is, yes. You know, and there are better mics from Shure than this, which will compete with some of those higher end ones really well. But if you just need the basic needs, you want really good quality sound, get your job done, perfect microphone for that. It's going to work fantastic. And I have the keyboard now wired to go into my studio, so that I can also play and hear through here and go in through the studio at the same time, do my recordings, and it's going to work out. So that's awesome. But anyways, so for 50 bucks, yes, it's worth the money. I would recommend getting one of those foam socks to take away the plosion. It does have a foam screen inside here, but it's just not entirely enough. So I would get one of those. I do have a spare one kicking around the house, because I find that those things make a huge difference, especially if you have to get right up on the mic. And dynamic mics, you generally need to get right up on it. You're not actually eating the mic or swallowing it, but you've got to be within about, I would say about 2 inches to get the best out of the mic, right? But you can go upwards to, I would say, probably no more than 4 inches, but then you got to watch the gain, right? Because every little tiny bit you move away from a dynamic mic, or non-phantom powered or non-powered mic, it does actually lose a lot of that gain no matter where it's set. So that's something to be aware of and, you know, cautious about. So you don't want to, you know, set a higher gain because you know you're going to be back here all the time because you need to stay consistent. and then you come up here and then you get feedback, and it's like you have to actually work on practicing based within that. But your gain levels are generally set on dynamic mics like this, usually around the 3 o'clock to 3:30 position. I have seen, depending on the board too, which makes a difference, how its stages work for input gains. I have seen running them at as much as like 5 o'clock on the dial, which is almost maxed, right, just to get a dynamic mic running. Like even the SM58s. The SM58s require almost 5 o'clock on the dial in order to get enough proper gain through so you can sing between the 2 to 4 inch range without losing too much. On a recording you're going to lose, but that's where you have to also learn to project your voice better and stay within that still 2 to 4 inch range on those mics. But anyways, that's for more info for other things. So I would definitely give this thing an easy 4.5 out of 5. I have no problems doing that. I've had a lot of experience with PGA48s. They are fantastic mics. And like I said, I have used them in a professional capacity and they have worked really well. But when I did go to the SM58, yeah, wow, huge difference from the PGA48s. But you are paying a little over twice the money too. You know, you're going to get what you pay for as far as, you know, going from amateur hour to professional hour, you know, type of thing, right? But otherwise, these things are still quite fantastic for everything they can do, and they can do a fantastic job. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching and staying tuned. Sorry I couldn't play as well as I normally could, but that's going to change in the next couple of weeks when I can get this cast off me and we can actually do a much better recording, because I'm actually going to work on a couple of songs for you guys so you can really hear how well this does perform, you know, for playing live, especially on the piano. But we'll probably even do some other stuff with guitar too. But anyway, so that's all I got for you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now, the sale on these for $50 at Long & McQuaid in Canada does end at the end of this month. So today's the 26th. They are closed on a Sunday. So you've got Monday, Tuesday, you know, type of thing. You've got to the end of the month. And you can still get these for $49 and save yourself $10. And you can throw that $10 into something else. But you do get quite a nice kit with the carry bag and all the accessories. You get your mic clip. And like I said, you're going to need to buy a mic stand unless you already have one, which I already did, so no big deal for me. Otherwise, I definitely recommend a mic stand of some sort that's going to work for you. But other than that, yeah, we're out of here. So, see ya.